proofing your emails. So many of the grammatical mistakes that we make could be caught if we proofed our emails more carefully. And proofing is not easy. It is actually pretty difficult to proof your own work, and I am a witness to that. It is very hard to catch your own mistakes. But we need to do it because if we proof carefully, we will very likely minimize, if not eliminate, any grammatical mistakes, and we increase our chances of answering every one of the questions the customer has posed in a single email. I want to share with you proofing techniques that I have shared in my live workshops that clients have told me they really like, techniques that work for them. Now, the idea is not for you to use every one of these techniques. Find the one or two or a few techniques that work for you, that you really like and you think are reasonable for you. So let me just share with you ideas, and you'll know what will work for you. Now, most of us are proofing on screen if we're proofing at all. I realize that we're probably not always printing our emails off, and so it's more difficult to proof on screen. So my first tip is to consider printing off an email. If it's a very important email, print that off. I suggest to my clients, those who are in charge for the organization, maybe of legal complaints or emails that were addressed to the president of the company, but you're responding on behalf, or complaints that you're responding to that will go directly to the Better Business Bureau. Really important email complaints, I do recommend that you print those off and proof your work before hitting send. Another technique, if you're going to read on screen, which is probably most likely the case, is to kind of go old school and use your finger like when you were learning to read, and literally, point at each word and read that. If you're pointing at each word on screen, it will slow you down and you're more likely to catch a mistake. So consider just using your finger. Another technique is to read the email out loud. That's actually a technique I like, to read it out loud. That also forces you to slow down, and you're more likely to be careful and thorough and to catch errors that you might otherwise miss. Consider reading your email or proofing it later, not right after you have typed it. And this is probably my favorite, or most effective, I should say, most effective proofing technique. I will type an email, and then usually I will just minimize my email and go to something else. That might be another email, or maybe I will make a phone call or whatever I'm doing. I usually have several things going on, so it's easy to go to something else. But I will minimize the email, go to something else, and then come back with fresh eyes. And I'm able to proof my own work so much more effectively when I do it that way. So that's a tip that works for me, which is basically don't proof immediately after you write the document. And then a final tip would be have someone else proof your email. Now, I know that takes time and you're busy, they're busy, we're working on a time schedule. But if it's really important, if you have any concerns about your inability to carefully proof your own work, that is a strategy that works for a lot of people. I do it myself on very important projects like a proposal. I can't say I do that for every email by any means, but that is a tip. Find the proofing tip that works for you. The point is, make sure you proof, because proofing will save you grammatical errors. It will help you be more comprehensive in your response, and you will represent the company far more professionally.